Okay folks, back to work on the 2003 Topkick Duramax rollback, and we'll go ahead and try to get this calipers changed on. These calipers are locked, and it seems like every time I run into a disc brake truck, a big truck that has been sitting with the bed off, and this thing's sit for a long time with no bed on it. I don't know if it rains on the calipers when they push the brakes, they won't go back in or what, but the brakes are all but locked up on this thing. And so I figured I'd go on and get the new ones on it. Now I bought AC Delco calipers, and hopefully they'll last a long time. And brake pads are really good and stuff. I probably should replace them, but we're gonna go ahead and run them. And they're not thin in any way. But the international rollback, my one with the yellow front end that I built years back, the clutch has been giving trouble for about a year and a half. And fifth gear, you could feel sometimes if you went up a hill and you give it too much gas, it'd slip some, but it's finally give away. So I mean, a year and a half, I'm not complaining a bit. I just need to get up here and do it. Clutch kit for that's about 340 bucks, and I've done that clutch in 3 hours by myself. So I probably won't be in that big of a hurry, but probably about 4 hour job. And so we've got to do it here soon and order it. But my Topkick that I drive or been driving don't have any air conditioning on it, and it didn't come factory with air conditioning, so it's something I can fix. I can put some on it, I guess. But anyway, I want to get something together with some AC. It gets 90 to 100 in the summer here, so older I get, the more I like AC. But I've run for years without it, so it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, the black rollback, I just don't like that truck that well. I use it some, but I'll probably get this one finished up. I'll probably end up selling it. But anyway, we're gonna get on this and go ahead and get this changed out. Still got a lot of other little stuff to do. I did get the gas tank up in there. It's not completely mounted yet, but I got it up in, got it where I actually started it up. I wanted to make sure everything was gonna be all right running that tank. Put 2 good batteries in the truck, so good to go with all that. Got to change this headache bar out. We're going to take it out. We're going to work on the one that I've got to go on it. It's off an old rollback. It's just taller. This one's way too short for that tall cab. And so we're going to keep on this pretty hard and try to get her knocked out. The box truck I bought, it's got a cab corner on it just like this. So we're going to use the cab corner, and I measured the doors. I don't have my tape measure here with me, but I measured the doors, and even with this cutout right here, and like I said, I've replaced this door. This is off a van, but if I take this skin off up to here, there's actually a rib here, or a bump out here, and that's where I want to do it at, because anytime you got to change the body line, it'll be easier than a flat spot to try to cut and put back together. But I'm going to cut that thing long ways down through. I'm going to take the skin off. Hopefully this will come off. Yeah, it's just wrapped around. Maybe spotted, but I mean it's wrapped around it. So we'll take the bottom section of the skin off, straighten the door out, and then we're going to put the bottom part of that skin on it. And I think there's going to be just a 3/4 of an inch or something down here at the corner that's not going to be covered, and I'll weld something in. But it'll be a quick, easy way to fix. Cab corner, I'll probably just straighten this one out, or I may cut it long ways here, straighten what I can out, and just replace a section of it out of the van. So we're going to use what we can use, and I like the way this cab corner goes on. It's spot welded in here, but so if we can take it off the van the same way and come back around, and we'll cut it somewhere. We'll probably cut it maybe with that line and around it. Least amount of body work the best. And I'll probably just spray this back white. The rest of the truck don't look bad when it's cleaned up. I've still got to fix the hood here and replace this quarter fender. Now the bad part about the quarter fender, it goes all the way up to the top here. You gotta take the mirror off to get it off. $150 for the quarter fender, but what I've run into, it's $150 shipping to get it here. So I'm not sure. We'll try to find one local or something. I really don't want to pay $300 for a quarter fender, but I mean, it's got to have one on it. So, but we'll figure it out as we go. And I've got the little bottom piece with the mud flap and everything to put back on it. But we'll go working with it here. Drive shaft, where I stopped last time, front part of the drive shaft's done. back to here. I had to order some U-bolts. I've got them in. And then we've got to make off the cross member. We got to re-support this cross member where I had to carve it out some. I still got to take it down and grind it, but I had to carve it out some to get this tank up in it. This is the tank off the HD3500. This tank originally mounted in the back, but you can't mount it there because of the wheel lift and stuff. And there's really no good place to put a saddle tank on it. You can't put one there where you got a step like usually. And got an air compressor over here. I want some toolboxes on the other side, and we got a hydraulic tank that mounts here. So there just wasn't much room. I could put one over there, but then I'd have to do away with the toolboxes. So I decided to go ahead and try to make this fit in here, and it fits in good. It goes up plenty high enough. Just got to do some reinforcing on the cross members, and then we'll probably have to put another cross member back in for the strap, and then we'll have to make something for the strap here, which won't be too bad. But yeah, that'll work out. I'm not sure how many gallon that is, but it was on that 3500 HD. So, and I plumbed it in just enough to start it. I've got to cut it and do everything, but I mean, I wanted to make sure that it was going to pick up everything through that pickup and everything. Had to drain a lot of fuel out of that tank, and it was all red fuel. So anyway, we got it out and we're good to go there. But we'll keep at this caliper. I'm gonna have a heck of a time getting it off. I've got the bolts out, but it's stuck so daggone tight that it's just locked. So I'm beating on it and banging on it to get it. All right. Well, it's coming, but it ain't coming easy. Having a heck of a time. Need a real hammer. Need a real hammer for sure. I don't think I've ever seen them stuck that bad. Alright, get a new one on there. That'll be nice. Okay folks, I got my little helper here today. Hey buddy, you helping Papa? Anyway, we got the caliper off. As you can see, looks like it crystallized. I don't think that's steel. I don't know what that is. Anyway, it's falling apart. But we got her off. Now we gotta do the other side. Graydon, say bye-byes. Bye-byes. Alright, let's get to work. Okay, so we're working on the other side here, and this one's even more of a pain because it latches at the top with this little latch, and it swings in from the bottom, so I'm having to pry it out from the bottom, where the other one we could pry out from the top. They use the same caliper on both sides, so we've just about got it. It's getting there, but this one here is stuck harder than the other one, and yeah, this truck running would barely move, and I actually took it down the road, but I mean it was just lagging down hard, and I think it's gotten worse here lately. But I hadn't run the brake lines yet on the back. All I got to do is extend them about 3 feet, but just wanted to go ahead and get this done first, and then at least we can roll it around, move it around. So all right, we'll keep at it. Okay, it's off, but this one done the same thing. That ceramic or whatever it is in there broke, but it did come off, so we're good to go there. We didn't hurt the brake pads any, and like I said, I mean I'll end up replacing them eventually, and probably turning the rotors on it, and or replace them if they need it, but we're going to run it a while like that, and we'll see how she does. Alright, we'll get back on it. Alright, we got this one on too. We'll get the wheels back on it. It's going to be nice to be able to roll it and move it. And it had pretty good power when the brakes was locking, so I would imagine it's going to do really good now. So anyway, get the wheel back on, and I wanted to do that. The reason I wanted to do that is because I've got to finish this drive shaft up and dial indicate it in, and I needed to be able to turn the wheels to dial indicate the drive shaft in. So until I got it where I could turn it, I couldn't do that. So you know, that was my main reason for this. And let me start it up here. You can see as dirty as can be, this thing been sitting for quite a while. And that's about as quiet of a diesel as I've ever heard. Runs really good, really quiet. Good truck. I think it'll make a good truck anyway. Nothing like the international diesels when it's running anyway. Alright. Okay, when I done this, I just unhooked the brake lines from down low and moved the rear back. It's got separate brake lines on each side, but I went and picked up some tubing. I needed 36 inches. All they had was this stuff in 40. And this is something they just got in. NICOP, it's an alloy tubing. Supposed to, let me see, seamless copper, nickel. Anyway, it's not supposed to rust, but I mean, we don't have a major rust problem here anyway, but that's all the thing they had in that length. So we're going to get the brake lines on it, and that way we can put some fluid in it and get it bled out, and then at least we'll have some brakes back on it, and then we'll get the drive shaft straightened out. Get this thing where we can move it around. Alright, let me get at it. Okay folks, the brakes are bled. We got all that taken care of. I had a warning light on, and the brake and ABS light was on, and I couldn't figure it out. I thought maybe the ABS unit, where it had gotten dry sitting with no fluid in it, but then I realized I didn't hook up I didn't extend the wires on my ABS sensors on the back wheels. So we're going to do that tomorrow and try to finish up the drive shaft tomorrow. And so we got good brakes ready to go there. I've made a mess. I had the return line hooked up, and I just had it slipped together because the tank, you know, I just had it hooked up temporary, and it came apart, and here I was returning fuel on the ground. So I'm gonna get that mess cleaned up now. But anyway, we're gonna stay on this for at least a few days, if I, you know, as long as I got time. As for the International, the 61 with that I set the pickup bed on, I am going to go ahead and put that bed on that truck. I'm going to try something. I don't know how it's going to work out because with towing and stuff, but soon here, you know, I'm getting ready to get all this concrete cleaned off, and that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, or not the only reason, but you know, one of the good reasons of it. But getting ready for the rat rod build and get ready for the work day we're going to have to get the engine out and get it all on the ground and set up. And but anyway, I'm going to do a one-day build on that truck by myself. we're going to see if we can start early in the morning, about daylight, and hopefully I'm going to pick a day that is usually not too busy for me, you know, tow wise. But if I got to leave for a tow, I'll leave and get back as quick as I can. But we're going to see if I can shorten the frame, shorten the drive shaft, mount the bed, and then a couple other little special things I'm not going to tell you about. I'll show you when I do it. But we're going to see if we can do it in a day and by myself. And I really think I can do it. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but we're going to see. But you know, some of these projects don't take so much time if you jump in there and do them. But getting everything ready is one of the main things. Anyway, we'll be back on this thing, and maybe I can get it moving tomorrow if I can get the drive shaft taken care of. And it's like I said, I still got to mount that tank permanent, but we're moving along on it. All right, bye.